العقل تسامى بالفكر والوعي شعار للعمر بغد نحكيه ليحكينا يا كون اسمعنا واصطبري إن رحب الفكر تسامينا وسمت في الأفق مساعينا بالعلم سترقى أمتنا ونجوب الدنيا داعينا.
Dear students of Al-Andalus secondary stage, it's my pleasure to be with you again with a very important topic, persuasion. So, what's persuasion? If you look up the word in a dictionary, you may find this definition. Persuasion is the ability to change someone's opinion, attitude, and behavior. That's why I'm gonna show you a very interesting video that shows the power of persuasion and how it could affect your choices. So watch and enjoy. After watching the video and realizing how persuasion could be powerful, it's time to study some persuasive techniques. Therefore, our objective for today's lesson is for my students to be able to recognize 11 persuasive techniques. However, I have a piece of advice for my dear students. Never use knowledge to deceive people. Use your potentials and the knowledge you learn in a way that pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, let's start in the name of Allah.
The first persuasive technique is facts. Using facts as a persuasive technique has always been used because it's very convincing. But what is a fact? A fact is information that is always true or can be proven true. Here is an example for you. Rice, bread, and macaroni have a lot of carbohydrates. This is a fact. Now it's your turn to think of the right topic for which this example could be used. The second persuasive technique is using opinions. What's an opinion? An opinion is a belief, judgment, or a way of thinking about something. When a writer uses an opinion as a persuasive technique, he or she could mention his own opinion or an opinion that belongs to someone else, an expert, for example. That's why you will find some descriptive words, adjectives, or adverbs. Also, you may find these phrases, I think, I believe, I guess, etc. Look at this example. Professor Jassim Mohammed of Qatar University believes that English is becoming widely used in Qatar nowadays. Now it's time to share our ideas together about how to recognize opinions when used as persuasive techniques. Good luck. Criticism. Criticism is the third persuasive technique for today. By criticism, I mean to undermine the other point of view to let your audience have only one option, which is yours. Here is an example for you to think about. Fast food is unhealthy and costly at the same time. Here, in the example, the writer picks the negatives of fast food, letting you only one option to abandon it. Our fourth persuasive technique is repetition. But what is meant by repetition? Repetition is the action of having one idea said or written more than once to leave an effect on the readers. Look at the example here. Our concerns are education, education, and education. Groups of three. As a persuasive technique, using groups of three is very common. By using it, the writer or the author uses three words to describe something. But why three? Psychologically, people tend to remember and operate in groups of three. So if you want something stuck in someone's head, put it in a sequence of three. Look at the example and mention the group of three which is used. Global warming is going to affect the young, the old, and even the weak. This implies that actions should be taken. Technique number 6. Emotive language. It's one of the most effective persuasive techniques in which the writer uses language in a way that makes the readers have a certain feeling: happiness, sadness, excitement, anger, sympathy, pity, etc. Look at the example here. You have two sentences. Read them. Sentence number 1. The 7-year-old boy got bit by a dog. Sentence number 2. The 7-year-old boy got badly chomped by a dangerous dog. In your opinion, which one is more persuasive? Rhetorical questions. Using rhetorical questions in persuasive texts usually takes place at the beginning. They can be used anywhere in the text, though. This leads us to ask a question. What's a rhetorical question? A rhetorical question is a type of questions that does not require an answer. It's posed mainly to capture or attract the reader's attention and to let them think about the topic. Here is an example to illustrate the use of rhetorical questions. Our customers are enjoying the best lifestyle. How can life get any better? Here, the advertisers try to imply that their customers live very happily and that there isn't any other way to get a better life. Research results and statistics. Using research results and statistics is a very convincing technique, especially when these results come from a trustworthy establishment. The results of a research could be descriptive or in a form of a statistic, numbers, or percentage. For example, a recent study in Qatar University concluded that Qatar's economy is developing fast, 25% better than last year. Example number 2. There are about 300,000 Egyptians living in Qatar, about 15% of Qatar's population. Addressing the readers directly. This technique attracts the attention of the readers. By using this technique, the writer involves his audience. Audience here means the listeners or the readers. Anyway, the writer involves his audience by speaking to them using the second person pronoun, you. Look at the picture here. I think it clarifies what I mean. And here is another example for you. This is my solution to help you overcome your problems. Quoting experts or authority. Quoting experts or authority means using the actual words of an expert or someone of authority. Why? To convince the readers or the audience in general to take an action or to take an action into consideration. Look at the example here. If I had fixed the radio, Coast Guards could have rescued us all. The survivor said, calling for taking precautions before sailing. So, here is a situation where there was only one survivor of a ship, and he said that if he had fixed the radio, the Coast Guards could have rescued them all. And this is a convincing way to call for taking precautions before sailing. I hope it's clear. Personal experience and anecdotes. By using personal experience, the writer tells about an incident that happened to him or her. But what about anecdotes? Anecdotes are short stories of amusing nature that are used to prove the writer's point of view. I have a piece of advice for you. I advise you to pause the video to do two things. The first thing is to have a look on the remarks concerning anecdotes, and then think of an anecdote to use to persuade your friends not to eat too much fast food. It's your turn to act in a persuasive way. Go ahead. At the end of the video, I have a task for my brilliant students. Here are the instructions. Number 1, pause the video. Number 2, read the question carefully. Number 3, use a stopwatch to measure the time you need to do the task. Good luck. Thank you for your attention. See you. Till we meet again, goodbye and thank you for your attention. See you.